also 101.9 FM WLLV.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, what I do is I am a stylist, I am a counselor, I'm your minister, I'm your friend at Trendsetters Hair Salon at 3009 West Broadway. But I'm also Mr. Tim from Back to the Basics Hair Oil, hair growth, all purpose, for skin, cradle cap on babies, for men's beards, for women that are having loss of hair. But I also counsel those that are dealing with hair loss, which now my second stream of income, I'm counseling your mental as well as taking care of your hair. So when it comes to the different streams of income, you need to think of the streams of income that are feeding you as well as feeding the individual that you're dealing with. So for me, not only am I just doing the earned, which is what I love, which is doing hair and doing locks, natural hair, things of that nature, but I also had to do what everyone else was doing during COVID, but luckily God had put it on me right before COVID, that you need to have a second stream of income because anything can happen to you. Anything can happen to your family, anything can happen to your health. And if you don't have a second stream of income coming in, your earned income now is no income. So when you have a second stream of income, your health is better because you're stressing less. Your bills are being met. So when you're working towards a second stream of income, also remember the things that people need, people require, things that are helpful for outside of you, and it will feed the masses. And that second stream is going to feed your family. So that's a little bit of what I had to say for right now because I don't want to take up all the time. But I could. But I'm going to pass it back over.
All right. We introduced the show as intuitive to intentional. So let me break that down a little bit for you. So intuitive means is what you feel to be true without any type of reasoning. Intentional means you're doing it on a purpose. You're deliberately with your actions. So the goal is to move you from thinking about it, of how you think it should be, to actually being intentional with what you decide to do. So when we talk about the streams of income, we talked about the earned income and the passive income, let's understand it like this. When you have earned income, you can actually make that or a hobby into a stream of income or a passive income, right? So perfect example is if you have a hobby of being a photographer, right? That means that you can start doing services as a photographer. Tim just talked about his oils, right? So that means that he can actually begin to sell those products because that's one of his things that he does. The other is teaching. You could teach people how to do hair.
Yes.
I could teach people how to do taxes. So there's 3 ways that you can either do earned income or passive income. It's by a service, a product, or if you teach.
Yes.
Right? So, I don't know. I hope Mr. Tim decides to teach one day. I think he would have a great school.
And the thing is, I have thought about it, and I actually have been asked about it. And when I say this, I hope listeners are listening, and I hope that you're getting what I'm getting ready to say and take it for what it is. In our community, we will go outside of it and pay to go to school.
Come on.
We will go outside of it and teach our knowledge to another community of people. And then we get upset when we see another community using what we went in and gave them. And when I say gave, they may have gave you some form of monetary for coming in. But take one of their classes after you have taught them and see how much that exact same class costs that you get a little bit for. Just to say, oh, I went and taught this class at blah, blah, blah. No, you sold yourself at blah, blah, blah.
Well,
but we have to do what we need to do to get our name out there. So don't think that I'm saying, no, don't go and do it. But when you walk in that door, I need for you to walk in knowing your wealth.
Yeah, so
I need for you to walk in knowing your purpose.
That's key.
Because if you're able to teach, that means God gave you a gift.
Come on.
Because that gift is not just to teach, but that gift also consisted of product knowledge. That gift also consisted of how you communicate with others and how they communicate with you. So don't think of it as you gave away your talent. You actually given away your gifts.
You know what, Tim, before you keep going, let's go back to something you said that was very deep. You said we have a tendency not to give back into our own community, or when we do, I feel like it's undervalued, right? So somebody asked the question, why is that?
Why is that?
I have mine. I'm going to let you talk first, and then I'm going to tell you why I think it is.
There's a few reasons. I'd rather be honest than sit here and just because I'm on the radio at 101.9 WLLV and sugarcoat what's going on.
Well,
one is if we're too familiarized with the individual that now is teaching, feeding, or leading you, you don't want to participate because you know too much about them, you think. The other is we get too comfortable with people that come in that we know and service lacks. And another is get off your phone. If someone comes in, I want you to treat them like they your first and your last customer.
Come on.
The respect that we need to give one another is key in running a business. We can't treat our customers like we're looking at the news. Do we have to be mindful? Yes, we do. But at the same time, the respect level in which we give each other, go to a restaurant outside of your community and see how you talk to the waiter. Come back to your community, order food, and I want you to have that same conversation with that waiter and see how the conversation changes and how your demeanor and your language is.
You know what? Let me piggyback off of that, because I know for a fact some of the restaurants in the west end of Louisville are some of the best restaurants in the city of Louisville. But I also know there's one chain that doesn't have the greatest chicken, but because the way they greet you, because their interaction with you, we're more inclined to keep going back and back and back, right?
Yes.
But when we go to our own community, you get a what, how can I help you, not even realizing that I'm here as a willing to give to you, right? But I want you to give back to me. Sometimes we get so caught up in not wanting to give, right? We only want to receive.
And is it we don't want to give or we don't want to serve?
Come on. What's the difference?
What's the difference?
Come on.
If I serve, I'm serving you from my whole heart.
Yes.
If I'm giving you because I made a choice to give. And if I don't want to give, I can look at that clock and say, I'm going to get off in 10 minutes. Somebody's going to come in. They can take your order.
And you know what? That's what makes the difference between a small business owner, an entrepreneur, and a future millionaire, right? Because you can have the mindset that I want this dollar, or you can have the mindset that I want to learn and I want to serve my community. Or you can have the mindset, not only do I want to serve, I want to be able to serve in such a way that I'm valued on such a level that people are going to accept me for what I have to offer.
I'll go even a little further with you. You also can have the mindset that you're dealing on growing into a millionaire.
Come on.
But not being a millionaire, but you have a millionaire mindset. You have a millionaire service. And when I say millionaire, doesn't mean that just because you're a millionaire, it makes your character greater than mine. What I'm saying is you have to have a goal set. Walk in your goal. Walk towards your goal.
Intentional.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not just because this is what I put on my piece of paper, I see myself in 5 years. Then when 5 years come and you don't hit that mark, now you done just gave up. I need for you to walk in your millionaire status that you done put in your head. Imagine you already living in that big house, but you still in an apartment.
You know, I remember somebody said, I'm going to fake it till I make it,
Yes.
right? I used to get bothered by that. I'm like, why do I have to fake it? Why can't I just make it, right? Then I realized that if I want a big house, I need to take care of the small one I have. I need to make sure that my small house is like a mansion to me. I'm going to make sure I cut my grass. I maintain everything. I'm going to pay my bills on time. I'm going to maintain everything on this scale, right? The word tells us we should be good stewards. So if I'm not taking care of my responsibilities, right, and I'm not enjoying it, even if it is my business, my streams of income, if I'm not serving you, right, in my greatness or in excellence, then I feel like I'm never going to be valued right.
Correctly. And also, like you said, within the word, and you said from an apartment to a house, if you can't treat the small things in your life the way that they need to be treated, how and why should I grant you something even bigger when you couldn't even take care of something smaller? If you have a small apartment and you treating it and throwing trash everywhere, if I give you a mansion, that's going to be a what? Answer.
What would that be?
I don't want to answer it in my words. I want you to answer it.
For me, it'll be, I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what it would be.
What would it be?
It would be a unorganized mess.
Okay.
And at some point, for perfect example, I don't have to say her name because I don't quite know it. The woman that won the lottery.
Okay.
Bought the big old mansion. Big old house, bought her mom a house, bought her boyfriend a business, bought all these toys, had all these remote control cars and things in the front yard of this big house in this gated community.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When they went on her property, all the things she bought was in the yard broke down. She didn't know where none of the keys were. When they went inside, they could only be in part of the house because the rest of the house was filthy with things that she purchased from money that she didn't work for. Now I'm putting that in there, that she didn't work for, because when you work for something, you have a different value for it.
Yeah.
So when you decide on making a different stream of income, that's from money that you worked hard for. So you already walk in with a passion for the love for your second stream of income, right?
Right.
But if I just say, I'm gonna give you this, I can sleep on that. You can give me that all day.
And that's why the different streams of income come from earned income first.
Yes.
Because if I work for it, then I appreciate it a little bit better, right? So, but if I don't work for it and I don't value it, then I'm going to have organized mess, right? I am. Somebody said that what are the different types of streams of income, right? And a lot of people think it's the same stream of income. Meaning if I'm a real estate agent, then my streams of income is all about real estate. And it should not be, right?
It's a part.
It's a part of it. So you should actually have different types of stream of income. The millionaires say that there are 7 different types of streams of income, right? You got the earned income, business income, interest income, dividend income, rental income, capital gains, royalties, and licensing. Right? That's 7 types of passive income or income that you can get. Why is that important? One,
I want you to go to that last one.
Go ahead. That royalties and licensing? Yeah, because we always giving stuff away.
Yes.
Right?
And so for the definition for that is you create a product, an idea, or process, and you let someone use it. They pay you a small fee every time they do. So we understand that could be like, to break it down for someone else that's listening, that could be a silent partner. You go in with someone, and after X amount of years, when they get out of the red, then they start to give you a portion of what you paid in. But that is a second stream of income. It's not gonna come right then. That second stream takes time, just like you had to work on your earned income. You had to work on your craft.
Yeah.
If you're an independent contractor, you had to work on your craft.
Just going to throw it out there real quick.
Yes, I
We got to
did.
educate. What's an independent contractor?
Independent contractor is one that works for themselves and builds their own brand and their own business.
You know what? I'm happy you said that. Because you said build their own brand in their own business, as though it's 2 separate things.
Yes, it is.
Right? So the reality is that your business is your brand.
No.
Okay. So what is it?
No, your brand and your business is two separate entities. Your business is what you do, that you is the work in which you put in to get the monetary gain from the individual.
Okay.
Your brand is how you're branding your business, how you're branding yourself, how people see you. You have branded what you're about. You're branded the knowledge in which you know of the business, of the knowledge that you know about the business, how you can teach the business. And then once you walk out the door of that business, lock that door, walk away, walk in a grocery store, and someone calls you by your branding name,
Well,
you have a brand.
so let me ask you a question. I know the answer. I know what I want to say, but I like you talking right now, right?
Okay.
So can you have a successful brand but an unsuccessful business?
You can, but the two don't coincide well. Because you can brand yourself well, but you know what we used to call that? And now I'm telling my age again. We used to call that, I forgot I'm on 101.9 FM WLLV. Yes, I forgot that they used to call that BS. BSing your way through. So I can talk a good game to you, but can I put in the work?
Right.
So therefore, my brand is me talking my way through it. But the business side is me putting in the work. If the both of them don't match, they don't live well together.
And I agree. I think that we can both, there's 1,000 million whatever accountants and tax preparers in this city, but I feel like that my brand is me, right? So if I can pull you in by introducing you to who I am, then that means you're willing to stay. But I have to be able to provide that service, right? That's why I got the degrees, the certifications, the experience. I stay up on my knowledge because I want to be able to provide the best service I can, right? So Mr. Tim, I know that you're very well respected when it comes to your brand, right? Everybody knows you. I mean, to be honest, I knew you, but when they talked about Mr. Tim, I thought it was a different person. Only because I didn't even know you did hair, because you never really talked about it at church. You wasn't really arrogant about who you are or what you can do or your skills. Let me say that. How do you remain humble through it all? As you begin to grow, as your brand gets better, as your business increases, how do you remain humble, and is that important?
It's very important, and I'll tell you how I remain humble. I remain humble from when you just started the show today. You spoke of where you came from. All of us have a past. I've come from going the opposite direction when I know God is calling me, and I'm trying to run and go through every alley and hang in every wrong place I shouldn't be in, thinking I could calm the noise. But once I got past that and I did everything I was big and bad enough to do, we have to get to a point where we can be transparent. Don't be afraid for someone to walk up and talk to you from your past. Don't be afraid for your past to come back in front of you as a mirror. Because if you don't talk about these things sometimes with the correct people, you can hurt yourself running because you never forgave yourself for where you were. So once I did these things, I was able to humble myself due to the fact that I know I'm no better than Joe Blow on the street, that man that's on the corner holding a sign. Only thing different is God brought me to where I'm supposed to be as I walk in my gifts. As I walk in my branding, as I walk in my business. So when we do these things, you have to stay humble, because if you don't, that person that was in your rearview mirror, you're going to meet again.
So check it out. I'm so happy, Mr. Tim, you came on our show today. I am beyond excited. You know how much I love you, how much I appreciate you. There's nobody else I would want to be on this show with me today other than you. I know your story, and I'm truly, truly blessed to be able to see you today. As we close out this first Intuitive to Intentional show every Friday, 3 p.m. on WLLV, the gospel station.
101.9 FM WLLV, baby.
What he said. And also streaming live on all social media platforms. You can find me at the Accounting Realtor. You can find you
Back to the Basics, hashtag BACKTOTHEBASIXX. Back to the basics, meaning you got to go back to the basics. You can't just jump ahead and think that you know what you know, and you don't go back to the basics. Don't build a house and don't have a foundation, because if it shakes too hard, if a truck comes by, you might find yourself in a house with no windows.
Well, let me say this to close out our 3 o'clock Intuitive to Intentional. Make sure you understand that there is a moment where you're going to merge your brand with your business. And when that happens, that's when you become to think differently. So your mindset is going to change. The way you make your money is going to change. And the way you serve others will change. Make sure you understand that there is a difference between earned income and passive income, and you should have at least 7 streams of passive income, or 7 streams of income. And I'm gonna say it one more time, Mr. Tim, before we get off of here. You have to have that earned income, that business income, interest income, dividends income, rental income, capital gains, royalties, and licensing. Those are 7 of the incomes that you can have. I pray right now that from now until next Friday, you do something differently that's going to move you from intuitive to intentional, not just only with your brand, but with your life and your walk. Again, this is your girl, Aleshia Renee. I am the Accounting Realtor, and this is Intuitive with Intentional, and I'm excited to have Mr. Tim on.
Yes, that you can come to Trendsetters Hair Salon, one of the longest running black hair salons, black businesses in the West End that has never moved, has not ran, did not close up during COVID, did not leave when we got broke into during COVID. And we have Tamara there that's sewing queen, weave goddess.
Come on.
And she has her second revenue, which is Tamara's Edge Control. And Tamara's Edge Control and Tim's Back to the Basics oil that helps, grows, and manages your hair and your beard is sold exclusively at Trendsetters, 3009 West Broadway. And once again, I want to thank Gospel 101.9 FM WLLV for having me on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we have Mr. P with us today as well. So we see you next Friday on the same platform, 3 p.m. Intuitive to Attention with your girl, Aleshia Renee. Hey everybody, this is your girl, the Accounting Realtor. I'm still excited about my first show. Everybody, this is your girl, Aleshia Renee, the Accounting Realtor. I'm still excited about Mr. Tim coming on my show on yesterday, Intuitive to Intentional, which aired July the 1st. First episode was July the 1st, Friday at 3 p.m. We will continue doing that every Friday at 3 p.m. on WLLV, which is 101.9 FM in Louisville, Kentucky. Again, WLLV 101.9 in Louisville, Kentucky. Every Friday at 3 p.m. You'll be able to meet me, see me, talk to me, engage with me, and all the special guests that we have lined up on Intuitive to Intentional. Let's talk about it.